Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Heroes Forge. Today, we have got a couple of creators that I want to highlight. I wanted to go ahead and take some time to let people filter on in. And the idea today is we're going to be reacting to two different creators. First of all is Pearl. We're going to go ahead and do her videos near the end because you guys know who she is. I've got the videos linked to everything that I've been reacting to today in terms of Pearl stuff down in the description below. And then secondly, we've got another creator that I want to take the time to highlight. And she's a newer creator, but she's a stay-at-home mom. And she does AI videos. So it's AI animated videos that's based on various like Christian tropes or things against feminism and stuff like that. Her primary platform is on X. So I would go ahead and recommend her. Her handle is at CMAA726. However, she is also on on YouTube. So let me go ahead and get a channel so I can link her channel for you guys. And she is pretty based. She just came out, started on YouTube a couple of months ago, it looks like. And so she is an interesting character in a lot of ways. So let's go back to the main thing. So she's a stay-at-home mom. She's a Christian housewife. She has a background in divorce court. She used to be she was in the child victim family court kind of situation where basically mom and the lawyers at Lightem and all of that went ahead and basically pit her against her father. And so she had been through the divorce ringer as a child, and she is only now recognizing a lot of the damage that had been done. So it's going to be really interesting to take a look and see things from a perspective that she shares, which is why I want to go ahead and take some time and highlight her work today. So once again, this is her YouTube channel, SEMA726. I went ahead and linked it in the chat so that if you would go ahead and take some time and after taking a look at some of these videos that I'll be sharing with you of hers, hopefully you go and you subscribe to her channel because she could use the viewership because she's putting in some really great work, and I'm excited to go ahead and share her work with you guys. Hello, David Ventura. How you doing, man? All right. So we're going to go ahead and start with divorce, the saga. And I'll go ahead and pause it as we go along so that we can figure things out along the way. Originally, all these things are made for vertical orientation. So that's how we're going to go ahead. We're just going to look at it based on how it's uploaded on YouTube.
Dave, I'm exhausted. After commute and working all day as a teacher, I just don't have enough time to help the kids with homework, cook dinner, and do all the housework.
Sweetie, just quit your job. I'll work more and take care of you.
Why should I have to give up my career? I will never depend on a man.
Kate, your office job is hardly profitable after taxes, student loans, gas, after care at the school for 2 children, camp in the summer, and all the grocery delivery services and takeout food.
Misogynist pig! I need you to do the dishes!
You sat at a desk all day in an air-conditioned room. I've been busting my hump in the heat all day doing construction. Do them yourself.
Fine. Dave.
All right, so all of this so far should be pretty familiar to people. This guy in this setup is willing to go ahead and work extra hard to make sure that she could stay at home if she wanted to. But she insists on working a job that doesn't actually add net income to the family. So basically, it's a point of pride for her. And she's insisting that he does extra stuff around the house. Let's continue to see how this develops.
Misogynist. He wants me to give up my career to stay home with the kids. He refuses to do half of the housework. What a jerk. Girl, you need to leave him. You can do so much better. You deserve a real man who's going to help you with the kids and the chores.
Baby, I'm sorry I was a jerk last night. I love you so much. I just get frustrated because I really want you to be home with our children.
I will not give up my career. The fact that you would even ask is financial abuse. I want a divorce. I'm taking the kids and I'm leaving.
So the house is almost...
All right, so that escalated quickly. So she goes ahead and talks to her friend. Her friend basically convinces her, oh, hey, he's abusive. You need to leave him. And so she has this rattling around in the back of her mind because this is how it often works. It's single women keep women single. And so the idea is that it's likely a single woman, and it's all about her and not about the family. Exactly, Larson, just like that. It is singularly focused on her own wants and desires without respect for what is best for the family as a whole. Let's continue. Now, this is the lawyer coming in.
Was paid off with $100K in equity?
Yes. He's such a jerk.
And your husband has savings and a pension?
Yes.
Kate, what he's doing is abuse. He's controlling and manipulative. Let me help. Kate, you shouldn't have to leave the marital home. Dave should have to leave. I know you don't think what Dave does is abusive, but I want you to know that you're a victim. And the right thing to do is to call the police and report his abuse.
But he's not abusive.
I don't want to call the police on my child's father.
It's typical.
So here we go. So this is the setup, is the lawyer is providing her the playbook. This is how we do the things to get the things for you, and so that the lawyer can go ahead and get his fees that he is getting paid for.
Of victims to be afraid to call the police. If you don't call them, I will. I'm a mandated reporter. I'll have to let child services know there are children in an abusive home.
Dave Jones, you're under arrest for spousal abuse.
What? This is a mistake.
Tell them this isn't true.
Dave, you're an abusive pig. It's over. Mama, why did the police...
Notice, he didn't do anything actually abusive at all. He loves his kids. He's looking to provide for his family. He is doing the things that the playbook would tell us that is right and good and true. However, because of her selfish desires and her insistence on maintaining her own status independent of him, because she wants to be a strong, independent woman, now she's going to go ahead and file for divorce, get him arrested on no basis other than an All right. So once again, hello. Okay, there we go. All right. So once again, only on the basis of an accusation is this guy getting kicked out of the marital home. Hey, how's it going, Bailey? Good to see you. So next up, we've got, he's arrested. He is taken out of the marital home. Let's see what comes up from there.
Take Daddy away.
Oh, my babies, it's going to be okay.
Kate, I don't understand what's happened. Please don't go forward with the divorce. I love you and the kids. I don't want to lose you.
Dave's been calling. He wants to work things out. Maybe I overreacted. If he's willing to help with the housework, then I think we can work things out.
Of course. I believe in restoring families. I'm going to send you both to my therapist.
Okay, so here's the next setup. The setup is we're going to go ahead and both sides are suffering in this dynamic with the separation going on. She is been called by the husband, and she is starting to feel second thoughts. Like maybe this isn't all that's cruel or this worked up to be. So then she goes back to the lawyer and goes, hey, look, I'm having second thoughts. I don't really want to go through with this. And he's like, yeah, absolutely. We'll go ahead and get this squared away. Let me go ahead and set you up with a therapist so that you guys can reconcile. Obviously, this is not in his best interest because that does not actually satisfy what is going to get him paid. Now, obviously, this is a mischaracterization of the legal profession as a whole, right? Because most lawyers are supposed to work for the best interest of their client, regardless of what that best interest is. But let's continue to see how things progress from here.
I'm sending a woman named Kate your way. Make sure you take good care of them, and I'll give you lots of business.
I love my wife and want to work things out.
Let's talk about how you all feel today.
He refused to do half of the chores.
That is
He refused to do half of the chores. He wants to work things out. And she starts with the waterworks. That sounds about right.
extremely abusive.
I'm not abusive. I want to provide for her so she doesn't have to work.
You're a sick abuser, financial abuse too. My recommendation is that the two of you proceed with a divorce. This is toxic. It's not good for your children.
Daddy, I want Daddy. Mom, where is he? I want Daddy. I don't know, my loves. I don't know.
Kate gets the house, full custody of the children, the savings, the pension, lawyer's fees, and court costs. You, sir, can only see your children 2 hours every other Sunday. Fathers don't matter.
Too easy.
It's like...
Look at that. So that is a pretty quick fast forwarding of how divorce proceedings have gone for several men and why so many men are very hesitant to deal with a lot of relationship, marriage, and divorce, all of this stuff in the modern age. Let's continue.
Taking candy from a baby.
When is Daddy coming home?
I don't know, honey.
Mom threw him out for no reason. I hate you, Mom.
Since my divorce, I'm so depressed. All I do is work and come home and take care of the kids. I never have any money. I'm so stressed out. You know what you need?
So even though she took the marital home, even though she took the savings, the part of the pension, all of this stuff, even though she pretty much cleaned this guy out, she still has money issues. That seems to be pre-existing from before the divorce. She was spending a bunch of money, obviously, in this context, and this is very familiar. And so now they are benefiting from child support and all the other things, and she's still barely not making ends meet. But they didn't have these problems when they were an intact family. And this son knows what the heck is going on. The son knows that this mother is the one that did it to him. Let's continue.
You need to hook up with some men. Have some fun. Now that you're done with Dave, you're free to do what you want. Oh, I don't know, girl. I just got divorced a few months ago. I'm not sure about bringing a new guy around the kids.
Be good for your father, okay? I love you both so much.
Maybe I'll create a Tinder profile like Stacy said. Hey, hotcakes! Can I come over right now and rock your world? Nobody wants to play daddy to your ugly kids. Oh, serious?
So now she is going ahead and getting on the carousel, so to speak, and she's coming to find out that things aren't all that it's cracked up to be, going back on the dating market, having kids as a single mom. They're not looking for a long time. They're looking for a good time. Let's continue.
Stacy, I made a Tinder profile. You wouldn't believe the messages I'm getting from these creeps. How do you deal with this?
Just ignore them. The right guy will come along eventually. Look at me. I'm 35 and I'm still hopeful I'll find them.
Hey, hot stuff. Want to get out of here?
Absolutely, gotta go.
I need you to stay late tonight.
I have to be at the school by 5:30 to pick up my kids from aftercare.
Dave, I have to stay late today at work. I need you to be at the school to pick up the kids by 5:30.
Darn it, Kate! I have to get this job done. Thanks to you, I'm $80,000 in debt. After alimony, child support, court costs, and lawyers, I'm only left with $200 a week. I can't miss work.
I'm sorry, but I have to leave.
All right, so this husband only has like a very select amount, or this father, I guess, has only a select amount of visitation, and only when it's assigned or when it's convenient to the mom does it ever come up. But this guy has to go ahead and work super hard in order to make ends meet on his own independently, and to be able to support the children when they come over to visit, and pay child support, alimony, and all this other nonsense that's been heaped on him from the divorce ringer. And so now when it's convenient to her, she goes ahead and dumps it on him only because she has something that's come up in her life. Doesn't matter what is actually needed for the circumstances of everybody. It's just her own desires. Let's continue.
To pick up my kids. My ex-husband can't get them today.
This is the third time you're fired.
Dave, I can't be the only person who has to miss work to pick up the kids all the time. I got fired today.
That's not my...
Yeah, not his problem. So she got the visitation schedule that she pushed for with her fancy lawyer. And so now she's reaping the consequences of this. And now she's trying to go ahead and put it on dad, who's obeying the letter of the law and obeying the letter of the agreement, because that's the character that he's been playing all along the way, as he is being the guy that handles his responsibilities. And she keeps trying to push for more and more and more. And he's doing what he needs to be doing. Let's continue.
Problem. You wanted to be Miss Strong and independent, and the divorce has bankrupted me. I am living on my parents' sofa. Get your things. Let's go.
Oh, Kate. Of course I remember. I'm so sorry to hear that. I have an opening Tuesday.
I've lost my job. I tried so hard to do it all as a single mother. It's so stressful. I have no money and hardly ever see my kids because all I do is work and clean.
I think you have a chemical imbalance. We can treat that with medication.
Here are the prescriptions.
Dad, I need new shoes. I've already grown out of these.
All right, Johnny. I'll talk to your mother about that. Kids?
Wow, you seem like a great father. Is your wife busy at work?
No, we're divorced.
Call me.
So yesterday, Johnny called me and said he needed new shoes. I'm already paying you $2,000 a month in alimony and child support. You could buy the shoes out of that.
I don't get all.
So there you go. So he pays $2,000 a month in child support and alimony, and she can't buy shoes for the boy. And so the boy is calling dad, and now dad is having to go ahead and do the legwork and be like, hey, look, mom, you got to go ahead and figure this out because I'm already handling my end of the bargain, and you're going ahead and cleaning things out even after the fact. It's insane. And now she's like, oh, well, after lawyer fees and court costs, I don't get all of it. Yeah, but you get a substantial amount of it. Come on, let's not be crazy here.
All of that. Part of it goes to the lawyer and court costs. I'm barely scraping by. Johnny will have to wait in.
Kate, I'll be there in 5 minutes. Have the kids ready.
Who is this chick?
None of your business. Give me my kids.
Now I see why you don't have any money for your son's shoes. You're spending it all on some floozy. You're not getting the kids until you start paying your fair share.
But I want to see Daddy.
Fair share, Kate, you took everything. You're getting $2,000 a month in addition to the house and my pension. I'll see you in court.
I got fired today. It's all your fault. All you brats do is drag me down. I don't know how we're going to pay the bills. Your deadbeat father doesn't give me any money.
Daddy says you
Now, flip side of this, if the kids went with dad, she'd just have to be worrying about herself like she wanted to do this whole time. And dad would be fine. He wouldn't need $2,000 a month of child support and alimony from her. He would just take care of business. Probably wouldn't need anything from her. But yet, she's over here blaming the kids as if they're keeping her down, which in some respects they are, but in other respects, she has chosen this life. And now she's popping pills, she's doing all this stuff, and she's resentful that the ex-husband is dating some young chick that actually likes that he handles his responsibilities. Let's continue.
all of his money.
If you hate us so much, send us to live with Dad and Grandma and Grandpa.
I will never abandon my kids. Your father doesn't want you. He is only telling you that you can live with him so he doesn't have to pay child support. Your father is the reason I lost my job. He refused to pick you up from aftercare because he's a deadbeat dad. I've sacrificed so much for you ungrateful brat.
It's okay, Caitlin. Mom is just really upset. She doesn't mean what she says. Go to your room and go watch a movie. Mom, I want to go live with Dad.
So the older brother is the one that throughout this whole thing has known exactly what the deal is, and he's there helping his little sister out. This is often the kind of dynamics that happen, is that the siblings try to find the coping mechanisms to deal with all the stress and the anxiety about the stuff that is going on outside of the insular circle of the small like sibling relationship and in the major family dynamic that's going on here. Let's continue.
He doesn't want you. He's too busy with that little tardy man at the grocery store. You call your father and tell him we need more money.
Johnny, just calm down. It's going to be okay. I love you and your sister so much. I would do anything for you guys. Put your mother on the phone.
I lost my job because of you, you deadbeat. You refused to pick up these kids from school. I need you to pay my rent this month.
You're the one who wanted the divorce. Kate, you ruined my life and bankrupted me. I'm not giving you one more penny. $2,000 a month is enough. If you can't handle this, then give me full custody of the kids.
I hate you! I can't believe this.
You won't let me see the kids because I have a new girlfriend. She's already getting $2,000 a month in child support and alimony. I shouldn't have to buy the kids shoes. That's what the payment is for. Mr. Jones has had an abusive outburst in front of the children. He's been abusive to Mrs. Jones in the past, and for your safety, we're asking for a restraining order and more support.
Yeah, so she's going back to court afterwards, and she reframes every little thing as something against him. Now, in today's era, I would say that if you were in this situation as a guy, you record all the handoffs. Just if for nothing else, even if it's like a two-party consent state, that way you can go ahead and let people know, hey, look, I'm going to go ahead and do this for my protection so that people are not going to lie about the things that I said, right? Because if you're going to go ahead and say that I've said things, if you don't have evidence and I do have exonerating evidence on my side, I'm going to be considered differently in court. I am only recording my own interactions. And if we want to go ahead and delete your interactions, that's fine for the purposes of court proceedings with a jury. But I'm recording for my protection. I would go ahead and talk to an attorney about that in your state to go ahead and figure out what makes sense in your circumstances. But that just seems to be the reasonable thing to do, is to make sure that you're recording your own interactions for your own protection. Let's continue.
Mr. Jones, your abusive behavior is unacceptable. I'm issuing a restraining order for Mrs. Jones and Child. You will have no contact. I'm also ordering counseling.
So, how long will your ex-husband have the kids?
3 more hours until 9 p.m.
I know how we can pass the time.
Let's go to your bedroom.
Okay.
Well, Kate, it's getting to be that time. I gotta get going.
So soon? Don't go.
Look, it's been fun, but I'm not going to stick around for ex-husband drama. I'll call you another day.
Girl, you won't believe this hot businessman I just met on Tinder. He is so hot. I can't wait to rub this in Dave's face.
Dave will be so jealous. I'll bet he drops that 22-year-old tart and begs to get you back.
Okay, kid.
All right, so some delusion sits in. So he goes ahead and has this, or she has this guy go ahead and come and give her the in and out. And she is delusional now that she's going to go ahead and get this support from her friend. And all of a sudden, she thinks that he's going to go ahead and turn around on a dime. No, that's crazy talk. That is not how this is going to be. So now let's see how she tries to flip this around and see what the deal is. And let's see what the dad has to say about this.
I love you. Have a good day.
Dave, I thought you should know I'm seeing someone.
No one cares, Kate.
Bye, Daddy.
Okay, kids, time to go to bed. Mommy's special friend is over.
But Mom, we're not tired.
Now, kids, Mommy says it's time for bed. If you go now, I'll let you take your toy in the room to play.
Finally, I have you all to myself. I can't wait to be alone with you, baby.
Me too. Mom, he took my toy. No way. I had it first.
Stop it.
I told you to stay in your room. Don't make me tell you again.
Well, Kate, I guess we'll have to do this another time.
Yeah, so now all of a sudden she's starting to realize that Chad is just here to knock at the door, not really here to actually man up or do anything like that. And so we're going to see how she emotionally reacts to this in this story.
You ruined my night!
Little brats, do you know how hard it is for a single mother to find a decent man? Go to bed.
Little brats. Dave gets to date without kids interrupting him. But I'm stuck with them.
Yeah, never mind that she went ahead and took him to court, got a restraining order, and completely changed the visitation stuff. So now she's going to go ahead and call and try to backstab him some more because obviously she's not having fun anymore. Let's continue.
Kate, this better be good. Are the kids okay?
Hello, pig. It must be real nice to be able to have a nice evening with a little tart without screaming kids. You need to step up and take them more.
Darn it, Kate. You know I want to have the kids more. You keep them from me so you can get more child support. Give me my kids. I'm sorry, honey. You know she's a crazy drunk.
Hurry up and get ready for school. You will not make me lose my job again. You already ruined my night with Brad last night. Do not mess with me today.
I'm so...
So here she is going ahead and saying, hey, you need to take the kids more. Okay, well, go get a court order and give up custody of the kids to the father. He will gladly go ahead and take it on, and he'll have an additional $2,000 a month to go ahead and actually handle all of the expenses associated with the children. Easy as pie. Would be a great situation for the kids. But no, she's going to go ahead and hold on to it and then hold on to the ability to complain about it to maintain the emotional upper hand. Let's continue.
So exhausted. Hey, Brad, do you want to come over tonight?
Look, Kate, I'm just not interested. You were a lot of fun, but it's just too much with the kids. I need a woman who's able to dedicate all of her time to me. I'm sorry.
You piece of crap! A real man steps up to the plate. A boy that's afraid of responsibilities. You don't make enough money for me anyways, broke boy!
Hello, Stacy.
Yeah, so once again, she finds out that Brad is only down to give her the in and out and not really there to take care of all the burden associated with what she has on her plate. Let's continue.
Well, I'm getting drunk early tonight. Brad is a broke piece of garbage.
Johnny, you want to tell me why you flipped out in class today?
I don't know.
Mr. and Mrs. Jones, your son Johnny had a disturbing meltdown today in class. Today, he flipped over his desk and threw his book at the wall in math class.
My goodness.
His teachers have observed a change in his behavior over the past few months. He appears sullen, agitated, and withdrawn. So, is there anything going on in the home?
Because of Dave's abuse. We had to get a divorce because I refused to subject Johnny to his hate.
That isn't true. We've been divorced for months now and he's with his mother.
It's because of that floozy that you're dating. You care more about her than you do about your son.
Oh, that's rich. You won't let me see my son because all you care about is money.
Look, clearly you folks are going through a difficult time. I recommend that you get Johnny some counseling to deal with the divorce and some family therapy to better co-parent. Johnny will be...
Man, I really hope they don't give Johnny to that same chick that they've been seeing throughout the way. But chances are, based on the framing of this story, that's exactly where he's going, and they're going to mess with him. But let's see what's up.
Suspended 2 days.
Counseling? I need an appointment for my son, Johnny.
Of course
Kate,
it's this
see you
chick.
Thursday at 5 p.m. I'll bet your parents' divorce was really hard on you, huh? Do you sometimes feel that your father is abusive?
No, my dad is cool. It's my mother who's always screaming at me.
What?
Okay, I bet your dad yells at you sometimes too.
No, my
Yeah, so she's taking the mom side, of course, and trying to coach the kid into saying certain things. And the kid, he's been consistent throughout this whole story. He's been like, look, my mom is the crazy one. My dad is cool. What are you guys on about? And so let's continue this.
My dad doesn't yell. I already told you this. Why don't you step outside for a minute, Kate?
Okay.
Do you want to go home?
Nods.
You're not going home until we talk about your father's abuse. Don't worry, I won't tell your parents what you say. Dad hits you, doesn't he?
But he really doesn't.
Now, Johnny, you need to tell the truth.
You're trying to get me to lie. I'm not going to lie for you, you old bat.
How dare you? That is unacceptable.
Kate, your son is very sick. I've never seen...
So then all of a sudden, because he refuses to get on her program, they go ahead and say that he's outbursting. It's like, well, no, she's trying to manipulate him this whole time and play him against his dad, and he's not having it. And because he is little and nobody is actually looking out for his best interest as the boy, as the son in this case, because the mom is so self-absorbed that she can't possibly think of somebody other than herself right now, that this kid is getting manipulated along the way. And this is terrible.
In such a severe case, he's going to need to come here once a week for therapy. I believe he's suffering from schizophrenia. Here's some medication. When I'm done with them, that entire family will be patients for life.
Take your medicine. I don't wanna. There's nothing wrong with me. You're the one who's crazy, Mom. Tell Johnny he needs to be on medication.
What? Absolutely not. There's nothing wrong with Johnny. My son will not be sedated. Come on, kids, let's go. We're going to Grandpa's house.
You better give him his pills or he won't be coming back.
I will. Don't worry.
Bye. My ex-husband Dave doesn't want Johnny on medication. Are you sure it's necessary? Now, Kate, you know Dave is just saying this to be in control. He is abusive.
We've got a problem. Dad is in the way.
I see. We'll just have to deal with that.
Your Honor, there is nothing wrong with...
So going back to it, they go ahead and try to force the father to force the medication on the boy. That's disgusting.
My son, he doesn't need medication. Dr. Weinstein, would you like to testify?
It's my opinion that Johnny is suffering from schizophrenia. I also believe Mr. Jones is extremely abusive and
Not true. After hearing from the expert, it's my opinion that Johnny needs to be given proper treatment. Mr. Jones, you will give Johnny his meds or visitation will be terminated.
That will be $5,000.
Who's at the door? We're leaving, Mom.
Yeah, we have to go.
Wait, please. The kids went to their father's house. I miss Dave. I should have never divorced him. You know, he has money and a successful business now.
Johnny, Caitlin, you are almost 18. When you are both welcome to live here with us.
Mom, when we turn 18, we're going to live with Dad. He's got a fancy apartment.
What? How could you do this to me?
Here comes the guilt trip.
Mom, you ruined our life with the divorce. You never let us see Dad because you were jealous. I hate you.
why don't my kids ever call me? I've sacrificed so much for them. Ungrateful.
Wow, things went downhill real quick in this circumstance. All right, so quick review. So people are asking, what is this? Well, so just a heads up, we're reviewing a couple of videos by Seema726. And her background is basically her story, her background in like family law and things of that is she was a kid involved in this family court. So like how there was the son and the daughter. She was basically the daughter in this circumstance as she was growing up. So she saw this dynamic and only realized recently putting the different pieces of the puzzle together. And it is insane how crazy this stuff happens and why we see all of this like hesitancy for us to go ahead and get involved in the legal system in so many ways. And so it's one of those deals where sometimes it's art imitating life. And so just to review, SEMA726, her main platform is on Twitter. So if you are somebody that operates on X, I'd recommend following her. She's a great follow. And for her YouTube, it's at SEMA726 videos. I'll go ahead and put her back in the chat so that you guys can go ahead and subscribe to her. She's amazing and definitely worth the subscribe. She does a lot of AI generated videos based on her experiences and the experiences that she sees in common culture. So that was the divorce saga. And so basically we saw from start to finish, this chick was like, look, I just want to go ahead and I want to be a strong, independent boss chick and do the thing. I don't need no man, and divorce her husband, get the lawyers and the psychiatrists on board to do the things so that she could get the divorce and take him for all he's worth. Freaking crazy. And then she goes and twists and turns and abuses the kids along the way for the sake of maintaining custody and keeping them away from dad. And then when dad is starting to do good, she goes ahead and tries to turn it around on him. And the kids are the ones that are suffering. They're the ones that are dealing with the fallout to this. And of course, she's reaping the consequences of her own actions. That's just what it is. And at the end, we see 8 years later, the kids, they're like, nah, we're going to move out. And then dad has got the young lady that he had gotten with, had a couple of kids with her, and he's doing just fine. That's just how it is. It's a very different kind of deal. And so we can see along this storyline how these things happen in the divorce ringer in a lot of ways. Obviously, this is a dramatization. This is a worst case kind of scenario, but it is a common enough scenario that we see this played out time and time again in our society. It's just one of those deals. All right. Next up, we're going to go ahead and take a look at Christian Inc., Repentant Prostitutes. All right, so this is a social commentary on the phenomenon of how a lot of times when chicks retire from OF, they go and they seek absolution in Christianity, and then everybody in Christian Inc. is so enthusiastic to go ahead and lift her up and all of this, and that's the idea behind this this work. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at this one and react to it.
And action!
Hello, welcome to the Christian Inc. podcast. I'm Mary Sue. For our prostitute of the week, today we have a very special guest. From the adult film world to wanting a family, saying she's sorry, and still making profits off of her porn name, please welcome Casey Lust! Welcome, Casey. Tell us about your story. Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be able to rebrand now that I've aged out of the industry.
Cut! Didn't your agent give you your lines? You're supposed to say, I'm so happy to have become a Christian.
I'm so happy to have become a Christian. You know, it's really just changed my life. I used to be in porn. You all might know me from films such as Pool Boy Orgy and Santa Went Up My Back Chimney. Wow, you've changed so much. So inspirational. I'm definitely not still profiting off of my former content, and I definitely do not want your audience looking it up. I totally don't have an OnlyFools anymore called Casey Lust XXE. Exactly, so don't any of you Google her. Finding God and starting a church hustle has just totally changed my life. I am making good money, and I get to be treated like a normal wife and mom.
So does anybody recognize this at all? This seems pretty on the nose for a couple of situations that have happened over the last, like, I don't know, 2 to 6 months, time and time again. Let's continue.
Isn't Jesus amazing? I'm so happy for you. Tell us about your marriage and family life. How are you all doing?
Family life is amazing. We're rich. We go on vacation all the time. And look, here's a picture of us.
I love that for you. Amazing. See, ladies, you can spend 10 years as a porn star, make lots of money, and still get the happy ending.
You've been married 6 years now. Congratulations. You see, men, you can totally marry a prostitute and be happy. Her husband is handsome and wealthy, and he doesn't have a problem with it.
Yeah, he's not insecure. So he's not worried about friends and family or even your kids seeing you online? That must be so hard for you. It is. Sometimes I cry. I'm the victim, but I've repented for my sin. Casey, I am...
All right. How many of you have seen that? That's right on the nose for a lot of the back and forth that has been going on over the internet, like over the last 6 months. It is crazy. And like, sure, there's room for them to have genuine repentance and all of that. But generally speaking, if they're going to have genuine repentance, they're going to turn off all of the OF. They're going to turn off all of the financial benefiting from that. And they're going to completely turn away. But in a lot of these circumstances, we see that it is just a publicity stunt and they just continue to do what they're doing with a veneer of something else going on.
You did the right thing. Can you tell us more about your new social media page? Yes, I'm dancing around suggestively in a trad wife dress to sell men the fantasy of submissive wives. It's totally PG.
Cut! What's with the head movements? Why are you so amped up? Did you take something? Get it together! Action!
So, tell us about your new channel. Yes, it's so fun. Now that I'm Christian, I totally love baking cookies dressed up for the camera and serving my husband. Oh my gosh, that is so cute. Fresh cookies just for you. Want a taste? Such an amazing redemption story, just like Rahab the prostitute. And if any of you haters dare to express any concerns about us denigrating the Christian woman's image, we'll use scripture out of context to call you a Pharisee.
Cut! Great job, ladies! The government really needs men to marry these hoochies. Welfare is getting really expensive with all these baby mamas.
All right. Does that seem right on the nose or what? All right. So that's the second one. And here's another one. This one is still in the whole like Christian Inc. church kind of thing, where, you know, we're shaming men for not wiping up these 304s. So let's go ahead and see what this one's about. For those of you that are just tuning in, we are checking out some content by SEMA726. Her main channel is over here on X. So follow her at SEMA726, and on YouTube, it's SEMA26 videos. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button for her. She makes a lot of great content, and so we're going to go ahead and review a couple more of her pieces before we move on to some of the more based content that Pearl put out earlier this week and later on last week. Let's continue.
I can't raise this kid myself. I need to find a good Christian man to marry me and pay for everything. Let's go get you a daddy. I've been through so much. My life as a single mother is so hard, but my little Adam is such a blessing.
Such a survivor.
My son's father totally had me fooled. He pretended to be a great guy up until 2 years into it. Then, one day, he turned into a monster. Out of the blue, he became crazy and hit me. There were no warning signs and no way to know who he really was. I am a victim.
But there were, in fact, signs, and she was, in fact, warned.
Dang, baby girl, you are so fine. Want to come party with me? I got what you need, beautiful. You like pixie dust?
Wow, thank you. I would...
Yeah, no red flags, right? None at all. Am I right, gentlemen? No red flags at all, ever. Couldn't possibly see that this could go poorly at all. Let's continue.
Love that. I'm Becky.
Let's do a couple of bumps and get sweaty in the back seat.
Yes, Daddy! Woohoo, let's party! Wow, Adam, that was great!
Yeah, I can rock your world anytime.
Hey, girl, what did you want to tell me about Adam? I'm his ex. I just wanted to warn you that he's a really bad guy. He hit me and cheated.
You are still in love with him. Never call me. I'm going to ignore your warnings. Later, when this blows up in my face, I'll tell everyone I had no idea.
All right, so we've got an ex going ahead and reaching out to her, trying to give her a warning, and she is so stuck in her own mind that she is not going to take a look at the circumstances around her and figure out what's going on from there. Insanity. Let's continue.
So, am I your girlfriend now?
Sure, baby. I'm so glad to have found such a good woman like you. My ex-baby mama is crazy. She's a total psycho. She's a cheating tramp. She accused me of hitting her, but she's a liar. She's the reason I have 2 extra felonies on my record. Those pigs are at it again.
Please, don't do anything rash.
I'm gonna handle this.
I looked into your boyfriend. This guy has like 10 felonies. He's been accused of violence from 3 women. You're just jealous.
Everything looks so good.
Where's the ketchup? What kind of idiot doesn't give it to me with the food?
Is everything okay, sir?
Where's my ketchup?
Sir, the ketchup is at the back of the table.
I wanted new ketchup! Screw you, you old bat! We're leaving!
Yeah, no red flags at all. None. Not a single one. Yep, never again. This guy is what you would call abusive. All the trademarks, but yet she's going along with it. Absolutely insane. We see this in daily life all the time, whereas the guys that aren't abusive are the ones that get labeled as such. It's just because she's actually attracted to this guy, as opposed to the other guys where she wouldn't be attracted to them and they'd be in the friend zone. Different deal, different time. Let's continue.
Dang it, Adam! That was so embarrassing! You flipped out on an elderly waitress and threw fries at her! This definitely isn't a red flag that you'll hit me one day!
Shut up, dumb trick!
Hey girl, you won't believe what Adam just did. You need to leave him. This is a major red flag.
I'm going to the bathroom.
Hey, beautiful. How you doing?
Sue, you like to party?
Excuse me? He has a girlfriend! I can't believe you.
You're a jealous psycho!
I saw you!
Shut up, you stupid bimbo! I don't need a clingy psychotic tramp like you. Shut your mouth!
Hey, it's Adam's baby mama. I just wanted to warn you that he's...
Oh, and then now here's a baby mama. How about that? Let's go ahead and figure out what's going on here. It looks like the wool is starting to come off the eyes of this chick. Let's continue.
It's crazy. He doesn't stick around or pay child support. Your baby mama called. She wants money for your kid's shoes.
Screw her! I need to re-up! The dope man is coming!
What about the rent?
Rent? I can't take this!
Ugh!
You think you can hide from me?
Please stop! You're scaring me!
I'll smash everything. You're next!
You would think all of this would be enough for her to leave, but Becky does not leave. She stays for 3 more years and has a baby.
Police! Search warrant! What the hell?
No! Not my husband!
You're under arrest! Let go of me!
This is absolutely abuse. And yet she's going to go ahead and continue on with it until she has no capacity not to. Because she has so bought into the illusion and she's so bought into the feelings that she provides for him. I can imagine this is an emotional roller coaster that would be like crack cocaine to some people in the event that they are, more even keeled. It seems like an equivalent kind of bump. So let's continue.
He just got sentenced to 10 years! What am I going to do? I've got to think of something!
Where are all the men? We're all single mothers.
With little hope of ever finding a good Christian husband, Becky becomes bitter. Later, she decides to get online and say really stupid stuff.
Ladies, it's really important that you focus on your career. You need to go to college and get a good job. Men are abusive and cheat.
There are no warning signs. Psychopaths are very charming.
Help a victim. Praise the Lord. Thank you, Christian women. Thank you, Christian women.
Becky wasn't satisfied with mediocre e-begging. She was ambitious.
Welcome to the Christian Inc. podcast. I'm Mary Sue. Today we have on a woman with a dramatic tale of abuse. It's totally a true story and not made up. Thank you for having me. So you were the victim of domestic violence? Yes. I met my son's father at a coffee shop. He was so charming and sweet. He told me he was a sales rep. He was dressed nice and well-spoken. I thought he was a decent Christian man. But he was...
Oh, yeah, because that's totally what happened, right? Right? No, not at all. But it would be damaging to the narrative to actually tell the truth about, 1, how they met, and 2, what he actually was like. Because then all of a sudden, the viewership would be like, oh, so you didn't see these red flags that would be obvious for anybody that is taking a look at it from an objective point of view. Nope. Can't say that. That would ruin a good story.
Living a double life. Were there any red flags? No, of course not. I was fooled for 2 years. Then one day, out of nowhere, he just lost it and hit me. I was shocked.
Wow, that's so terrible. I'm so sorry you went through that. Thank you. I'm still praying that the Lord blesses me with a good man. I agree.
Ooh, tell us about your book. My book is called Victim. It's the story of a single mother's struggle. Available on Amazon. Becky, that's amazing. Everyone go buy her book. She's single, by the way, so if any of you Christian men want a good wife, go to her DMs.
God, great job, ladies. The government needs men to marry baby mamas again. They stopped. We need to make it trendy again.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Sorry for pointing out the obvious problems with this circumstance. How dare we, right? So, once again, we are going through a couple of the videos by this creator, Seema726. She's a stay-at-home mom and Christian housewife, and she's been through a lot of this stuff. Like, she went through the divorce ringer as a child that was involved, where her mom went ahead and took her father to the cleaners, and so she goes ahead and puts these AI videos together to serve as social commentary on a lot of things that we're seeing. And I think that in terms of conservative Christian woman commentary, like, she is doing really well to highlight a lot of the inconsistencies, a lot of the clear points. So definitely worth a follow on X, and definitely worth a subscribe on YouTube. Once again, I'm going to go ahead and link her channel in the chat, so that you guys that haven't subscribed to her yet can go ahead and take some time and subscribe. Fantastic work. And we've got one more video of hers that we're going to be watching before we move on to the main event. This one is called Reviling Wives, Karen.
I don't believe in divorce, except for extreme cases. What about abuse? My ex-husband was a monster. He was crazy. One time, he grabbed me by wrists and threw me on the couch and was irate and screaming right in front of the kids. It wasn't my fault. I had to leave him. He was crazy. Wow, I'm so sorry. Of course you were right to leave. I'm so sorry you went through that. Let's uplift Karen in prayer and provide additional support for her.
The women hear the word abuse and automatically assume the husband was a vicious perpetrator. They are sane and can't imagine a woman would lie about such a serious topic.
Yeah, because they'd never lie about this, right? They'd never redefine what words actually mean to suit their interests, right? Certainly that never happens at all, because we can't get in the way of a good story, right? Here we go. Let's continue.
But Karen isn't telling the full story.
Mike, I'm so exhausted. All you do after work is sit here and play with the kids. I need more help with the chores.
Karen, I just got home. Give me a minute.
Excuse me? Give you a minute? I also worked all day, you know.
Oh, yeah, for 4 hours sitting at a desk at the office.
I also cleaned.
So apparently she is a part-time worker, and dude works full-time in something that's obviously physically demanding. Looks like he auto repair. So he's a mechanic. Dude's a mechanic, and she works part-time at a desk job. And so she's like, look, I demand that you do half the housework. It's not enough that you come in and you need a little bit of time to rest. Nah, none of that. Immediately straight to the plow with him. That's insane. Give the guy a couple of minutes to go ahead and adjust, maybe take a shower. Like, seriously, the guy is wearing soiled clothing. Can we not give him a little bit of time to freshen up so that he can be here and ready for his children? This is insane. Let's continue.
The house and got these kids to and from school, you jerk.
Karen, I had a 10-hour day at the shop.
Mike, wake up. We need to talk.
Can I have a cup of coffee before we do this?
Yeah, so this is an ambush. She goes ahead and is like, wakes him up early in the morning to try to go ahead and pick a bone with him. Doesn't give him time to take out get some coffee or anything. It's completely an ambush.
No, my feelings can't wait. I really need you to help out more. I just can't do everything.
Okay, baby, I'll do better. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's an emotional ambush. She has to go ahead and do things on her terms, regardless of what the circumstances are. Now, if she was an emotionally adjusted adult, what they would do is they would schedule a time to actually talk about this like reasonable people. But no, she is manipulating the circumstances. She is manipulating the time period. She is manipulating everything about this to assault him when he is not prepared for this, and to take advantage of the fact that he is just awake. And notice he was sleeping on the couch. That's indicative of other things. Let's continue.
Compiled a list of things I need you to do. I have to get ready now.
Wow, great drawing, buddy.
Thanks, Dad.
Hey, time for these dishes. Almost done.
Mike, come on. I'm not in the mood. Go sleep on the couch.
So she handed him a honeydew list. He goes in and gets it done. He still loves the kids. He still takes care of everything. The honeydew list is a lie for the most part, gentlemen. Just letting you know, it's just performance. And a lot of the things that is done is because she doesn't have feelings and she's trying to figure out how to get feelings, but she doesn't have a good way of expressing herself a lot of times. Oftentimes it's a trick, and you need to go ahead and figure out what the situation is for what it is. She's a part-time worker. He's a full-time worker, works more than 8 hours a day, apparently is the circumstance. So take these circumstances to heart and figure out what works for you.
Couch.
Oh, come on, baby. Are you still mad?
Mike, it's getting late. I need you to take the kids to school today.
Okay, fine.
Why? She works part-time. Why can she not take the kids to school? Wonder why that is.
Mike, the floor is filthy. Sweep it now.
Yes, dear, right away. Toys everywhere. Pick them up. Okay, I'm on it.
And the laundry. Fold it.
So the kids are finally in bed. I have you all to myself.
Ew! Don't touch me.
Why are you still mad at me? I've done everything on your list all this week.
I had to tell you to do those things. You don't do the dishes.
Yeah, so if you're not a mind reader, it doesn't count. It's not, the thing is, in a healthy relationship, this isn't how it's supposed to be. Like, she doesn't provide you a demand list, and then you don't go ahead and bend over backwards to fulfill the demand list. And if you do, you're setting yourself up for failure like this.
Is right. You just make a bigger mess for me. When you sweep, you don't clean under the couch. You're so lazy.
I'm not lazy. Screw this. I'm going for a ride.
Whatever, jerk off. You're just mad because you didn't get what you wanted.
Hey, girl.
But notice she got everything that she stated explicitly. She expected him to be a mind reader, and when he goes ahead and takes care of everything that she explicitly writes down, it's not good enough for her. And he is asking for basically a couple things. Very simple list of requests, and it is beyond the pale for her to provide her side of the coin. Let's continue.
So Mike and I just had a huge fight, and he took off.
I'm sorry, girl. What happened?
I gave him a list of chores. He's running around cleaning, and it's so annoying.
I don't get it.
Now that he does everything I say, I don't find him attractive anymore. He's a man-child, so I stopped sleeping with him, and now he's mad.
He sounds like a jerk.
There you go. So she gave him a list. He did the thing. And now she feels like she's got the emotional load or the mental load of having to micromanage him when she should be doing a lot of this stuff in the first place because she's a part-time worker and he is beyond a full-time 40-hour-a-week worker. And so they have an unequitable distribution of labor around the house considering their independent working circumstances. So in terms of how they are contributing to the overall wellness and well-being of the family, there is once again an unequal distribution of labor. And he is doing way more of the work and he is not getting the reward.
You need to leave him. You could do so much better.
You're right. All right, we'll talk tomorrow. Stay strong. That stuck-up, skinny little witch deserves to die alone.
Karen doesn't love me anymore. She's got someone else.
Are you drunk, man? Calm down. Pull over.
She won't let me touch her. There's a boyfriend. I can't do this anymore.
She's got a boyfriend. You hear me? A boyfriend. I just want to find the guy. Let me go find him on the ground.
So this guy is under pressure and this guy goes ahead and gets arrested for DUI. Gentlemen, this is not the way to go. This is not how we go ahead and handle business, but I can understand where this guy is coming from and how he has come to be in this particular circumstance. It sucks. And there's a lot of guys that deal with this. The trick is he didn't see earlier on in the relationship that there is issues along the way that had he taken care of things along the way, things would have been a lot better off for him. However, he let it go ahead and fester for an extended period of time, and now he is reaping the consequences of these actions, which is just awful. This sucks. Oh, Logan Richards, so you have an idea of how this goes on. This is like right on the nose for a lot of situations that I hear from guys. Let's continue.
Collect call from an inmate at the county jail.
Hello?
Hey, Karen, I got a DUI and some other stuff. I am going to have a hearing tomorrow, and I'll need you to post bail.
What on earth is wrong with you? You were driving drunk? We can't afford a DUI? Are you crazy?
I know you don't love me anymore, and you have a boyfriend.
What? I don't have a boyfriend. That is ridiculous.
But we can understand where he would come to the conclusion that if they're not having any intimacy, she's making all these demands, and she does not want to be any bit closer to him. Why would he not believe that there was someone else in the picture? It never will be enough if she's locked into this. The thing is, she's not actually attracted to him anymore. And the more and more that he obeys the things that she says for him to do, the less attractive he will be to her. The best mode for him to do is to do the things that he wants to do and to lead by his actions. That's it.
I'm mad at you because you don't do your share of the chores.
You can have it all. The house, the money. I just want you to be happy. All I ask is that you bail me out tomorrow. Kids, go to your room. Your mother and I need to talk.
But Dad, we're playing. Yeah, we want to play.
Listen to your father. I can't believe you did this. This isn't working. I deserve so much better.
Do you have someone else in mind? I've tried everything. Nothing makes you happy. You refuse to sleep with me. What else can it be? There's someone...
All right. Here's the thing. When happiness is the goal, everything goes out the window. Because here's the thing, gentlemen. Something for you guys to pay attention to. Really important stuff. You cannot make her happy. You are not responsible for her emotional state. It is on her to maintain her emotional state. You can't force anyone else to be happy. That's not how life works. It will never work that way. And so if you're stuck in this cycle where you're just trying to please her to try to keep her happy, like she is acting like some kind of emotional, like you're an emotional hostage, I advise you to work on separating yourself from that dynamic, because that's not going to end up coming out positively for you in any way, shape, manner, or form. Let's continue.
That's ridiculous. You sound demented. Why don't you actually try helping out instead of just doing it halfway?
I did everything on your stupid list. You're just mad because I don't do it exactly how you do.
Leave me alone. You're sleeping on the couch tonight.
What does it matter? He's been sleeping on the couch for the last few months. It's irrelevant.
Mike, take the kids to school. I got to get ready for work. Here's your chores.
Yeah, shut up.
What are you doing? Why aren't you at work? This house is a mess.
I didn't feel like working, so I left early. Get off my back.
Yeah, so this is the reverse of basically what she's been doing for most of the relationship up until this point. She has been contributing to the extent that she feels like contributing and pushes off whatever to him. And so this time, he's basically had enough, and he's like, no, I'm not going to do it. And so we're going to go ahead and paint everything as a consequence of his actions and completely leave her stuff out of it.
Where am I supposed to sit since I'm not allowed in my room anymore?
Try the kitchen. Do the dishes.
Screw that! I'm not doing anything! Get out of the living room! Not you kids, you can stay.
How dare you? You're screaming in front of the children.
If you leave the room, you won't have to hear it.
Mommy, Daddy, stop yelling. You're a miserable prick. I hate you. You ruined my life.
Keep your voice down in front of the kids. Kids, everything is going to be okay. Mommy.
So he's trying to keep this stuff together. It is just insane, the amount of pressure that is on a lot of guys' backs. And we just go ahead and turn the other way as society and go, oh, yeah, he's got this. It'll be fine. No, this is insane. This is not how things should be. He's basically living as an alien in his own home, and it's obvious that the divorce ringer is coming for him in this story. Let's continue.
Daddy just need to have a grown-up talk. Go to your room.
Why are you doing this to me? I can't take this anymore. You are so disrespectful.
What was that for?
So she goes and hits him. That's just what it is.
Shut up, you jerk! I'm sick of you! Do the dishes! Do the dishes!
Karen.
All right. So in the majority of cases of DV, when there is not mutual combat, all right, where both sides are actively involved, the majority time, it is the woman that goes ahead and starts the altercation, as we see here. That is statistically the case.
Enough. Stop it. Sit down.
Let go of me!
I said sit down.
And so once he's finally had enough and he goes ahead and sits her down, now he's going to be labeled as the abuser, even though it's mutual combat.
Stop it!
You will not get violent. I'm not putting up with it.
I can't believe you. You are so abusive.
Mommy, why are you crying?
It's okay, kids.
And so now the situation was painted where the kids saw her crying. That's what it was. And so now the kids have this impression that the dad is the bad guy, even though he wasn't the first person to start it. She had been manipulating the circumstances for months at this point, maybe longer.
Aren't you the drunk guy we arrested a few weeks ago?
Let me speak to you outside.
Mommy, no, don't go!
Don't worry, Mommy's not in trouble.
He is so abusive. He pushed me and grabbed me by my wrists and threw me on the couch.
Let us see your wrist.
Fine.
So, what happened here tonight?
Everything is fine.
You're under arrest for assault.
Oh, come on. I didn't do anything.
Hands behind your back.
A collect call from an inmate at the county jail.
Hello?
Hey, I'm going to need you to bail me out in the morning again.
That's all you have to say?
I don't want to discuss this on the phone. We'll talk when I get home.
Whatever, jailbird.
I can't believe you.
But she went and bailed him out. Now, obviously, he's got to work to go ahead and pay the bills, because if he's in jail, he can't work and earn money. So, of course, she's going to bail him out with the family funds. You know, that's just what it is. Well, what are we doing here? This is the kind of circumstance that we see so often, where the guy is the primary breadwinner and she's basically just working a part-time job, and she is like manipulating the circumstances on him, and just putting the screws to him and causing the problems that will eventually lead to long-standing, far-off consequences.
Hey.
I can't believe you hit me, and somehow I am the one who goes to jail. I have assault charges now.
You were out of control. Mike, I was terrified. I've never seen you like that. You have a drinking problem. I think you need to go to rehab.
No, I don't have a drinking problem. I only get drunk to deal with you. Your abuse pushes me there.
Well, that seems to be the case. It's only after she's been pushing and pushing and pushing that he goes and resorts to the bottle. Now, don't get me wrong. He's got full responsibility on his end on that, right? When you are close to the breaking point and you don't have a brotherhood of other guys that you can talk to, which based on the circumstances, we don't see any evidence that he has male friends anymore that he can actually talk to and share his struggles with and all of that, because he's clearly not going to go ahead and talk to his wife about this stuff. This is insane.
First step is admitting you have a problem.
Shut up, Karen! I've reached my limit with you! Not another word!
Please slow down. You're scaring me.
I want a divorce. I'm just not happy.
I don't want to break up our family. What do I have to do to fix things?
You always ask.
So now he's asking her again, what should I do? Every time he asks her in this story, what should I do? None of the things that she asks for him to do actually change the circumstances for the benefit of the family, and definitely not for his benefit, or even paradoxically to her benefit. That's the craziest thing here, is that when he is doing things that she should be doing, he doesn't do it according to her standard, and then she gets upset that he doesn't do it exactly the way that she would do it. And she uses that anger and that anxiety and that angst to project incompetence on him, even though he is taking care of business and shouldering the majority of the financial load. And so now she's getting ready to file for divorce. And now we're going to go ahead and see what happens next.
Ask me what to do. You're a man child that I have to parent. I'm not attracted to you.
What? The feeling is mutual, Karen. You're a frigid witch. All you do is bark orders at me and demand money.
So, what brings you in here today?
He doesn't do enough chores. He's abusive and has a drinking problem.
You need to listen to your wife, buddy. Mutual submission, acts of service. That
All right, so that's exactly what I would expect from the crazy megachurch is the idea of mutual submission. So we've talked in times past where that is wrong. Well, it's not AI slop ghostly. It's a friend of ours that goes ahead and actually does AI work. Like it's stories that she sees from the ether and then puts it with AI art to tell the story that we see all over situation or all over society rather. And though it is put through AI to generate the imagery and all of that, you have to have the story narrative to cause this to be the case. That's just what it is. And so going back to the idea of mutual submission, that isn't a biblical thing. And so you've got the egalitarians and the soft complementarians that say, oh, hey, the husband should go ahead and do everything for his wife and she shouldn't have to do anything, basically. She shouldn't have expectations or anything, is kind of how it's levied. And that's not what the scriptures say on the matter. That's just what the deal is. And because this pastor is bought into this egalitarian equalism in society, basically he's a feminist, he's going to go ahead and put this burden on the husband that he's already been bearing and even more of a burden, and it's just not going to work out. Let's continue.
It isn't working. She hates me more. I did everything she asked. She's disgusted by me and hates me.
That isn't true. He's an abuser.
You need to...
He's not actually an abuser. It's just one of those things where she had manipulated the circumstances to go ahead and break him, basically. And then she's surprised when the consequences of her own actions come up. Wild stuff. But this is emblematic of stuff that we see in the society all the time.
Listen to your wife, pal.
He's not leading. I need him to lead me by doing whatever I say without me having to say it.
She wants me to be a mind reader. Karen needs to be in control of everything, but she can't handle it. The buck stops with you, pal. You're not leading. Acts of service is a love language. I can't lead. She'll just send me to jail.
Yeah, that's basically what happens is she's going ahead and telling him to do all the things. He's doing it. He's not doing it according to her standards. And then she claims that that is abuse, which is insane. Not the case. It's just what it is. She sets up the circumstances and then complains about the consequences.
So how are things going with Mike? Terrible. Now that I'm refusing to sleep with him, we have nothing in common. But let's not talk about it. Let's watch the show.
Welcome back to 50 Shades of Viking. You're mine now, woman.
Put me down. Unhand me.
You can't deny this.
He's so hot. Put me down, you animal.
Shut up. I take what I want when I want. Talk back again and you'll regret it.
Ooh, Daddy, I wish I had a man like that. It's only socially acceptable for us to desire a strong masculine man to dominate us in the bedroom. Nowhere else. We're feminists.
Yeah, there you go. That's the deal. It's feminism 101. They'll go ahead and secretly have all of these desires, but then they won't let that out for a dude that's not hot enough for it, right? So the number one thing that guys can do in our marketplace right now is actually be in shape, which is kind of wild. You would think that character should come first, but I mean, as a young man, you go ahead and develop character over time and your ability to be competent and show up in other ways, because honestly, most of the guys that make men are most of the characteristics that make men attractive to women take an extended period of time for us to develop as men. That's just what the deal is. And so these women will go ahead and read like 50 Shades of Grey and things of that nature and have these fantasies with these people that are not of the caliber that they could possibly be able to entertain for an extended period of time. Exactly.
We've been taught
that only a foolish woman wants a powerful masculine man to tell her what to do. So our suppressed biological need for this comes out in deranged fantasies.
That's definitely it.
50 Shades of Viking is so hot. Mike, it's over. I need a real man, not a boy. You're a man-child.
You know what? Screw you, Karen. I don't care anymore.
Yeah, so at this point, he's just done, right? So he's done all the things. He supports the family. He takes care of them. He financially handles everything. But that's not good enough for her, because instead of just telling her, hey, look, you only work part-time, I'm not going to do this thing. That's just what the deal is. And he's not putting his foot down. And she is just running all over roughshod with him. And even though he is doing all the things she asks of him, he's not attractive to her anymore because he is submitting to her will. That's not what is attractive to them.
Sorry I'm late, Karen. My wife is impossible to please. She wants to leave me for no good reason.
Your Honor, he's abusive.
He was arrested for DUI and resisting arrest. He was arrested for assaulting his wife in front of the children.
That isn't true. Karen attacked me. I just didn't tell the police anything because I didn't want my wife to get arrested.
Karen gets the house, the savings, alimony, and child support. You, sir, can only see your kids 2 hours every other Sunday. Fathers don't matter.
I can't win this. Here, take it.
Why? We won!
Yep, there it is. So, once again, we've been looking at content by our good friend Seema726. So, if you're on X, go ahead and give her a follow. She's a great follow. She goes ahead and puts out stuff. And we're going to watch this one that I don't think is on her YouTube yet. We'll take a look. I think that, oh, yeah. Let's see. Let me refresh her YouTube channel. Oh, hey, cool. It is on here. So we're going to go ahead and watch this last one, Obedient Wife versus Boss Babe. And that'll be the last one before we go ahead and move on to reacting to some of Pearl's stuff for this week. So once again, Seema726 videos. If you haven't hit subscribe on her, she is a worthwhile subscribe. Go ahead and check her out. She puts out a lot of good work. Once again, just to go ahead and give you a quick synopsis, she's a stay-at-home mom and a Christian housewife. And when she was growing up, her mom basically divorced her dad and then put them all through the divorce ringer. And so she is a victim of the family court system. So she saw it as the child through this whole thing. So if you haven't given her a follow, go ahead and give her a follow on X and make sure to hit the subscribe button on her YouTube. I'll go ahead and link it once more in the chat so that you can go ahead and take a look and see what's what. All right. Let's go ahead and hit up Obedient Wife versus Boss Babe, and that'll be the last one we're going to react to of Seema's for today.
I dedicate my life to serving my husband, helping him with his business, and taking care of the children. I would rather submit to a husband than work for a boss.
Sweetie, can you get me some more coffee?
Of course.
Megan, Mary, whatever your name is, can you get me a cup of coffee?
Absolutely. Here is your coffee, sir. I'm a strong, independent woman. I'll never submit to a man. This doesn't count because I get just enough money to live in my parents' garage.
Honey, can you get me some barbecue sauce?
Sure.
Thanks, honey.
Here is your food, sir. Can I get you anything else?
Can I have some ketchup?
Of course, right away.
Hey, baby, can you type up an invoice for me and send it over? I texted you the details.
Sure. I can have that over to you in 15 minutes.
Thanks, love you.
Love you too.
Megan, can you type up an invoice for me?
It's Mary. I would be happy to get that right over to you, sir.
Being dependent on my husband financially.
All right, so the setup is like this. This woman right here in the frame, I guess, let me point this way. There we go, right here. This woman in the frame she's homeschooling the kids. She takes care of the house. She is willing to be on her husband's program. When he needs something of her, she goes ahead and quickly, promptly, and courteously responds in kind and just helps him out. He is obviously handling business in other frameworks in life to make it so that it makes sense for this coupling to make sense, right? He is going out, climbing mountains, slaying dragons, bringing home treasure, and she's over here watching over house and hearth. And when he needs her to type up an invoice or to do some clerical work, she takes care of it so that he can be free to do the things that push the needle forward for the family. This is what's otherwise been known as a sword and shield relationship. He is the sword. He is playing offense. He's the guy that is elevating the status of the family. And she is playing defense. She is taking care of the house, the home, and making sure that he has a comfortable place to rest so that he can be revitalized, so that he can go out and do it again the next day. This is a wonderful arrangement and is achievable out there with the right guy and the right woman. This is a wonderful thing to look at. Now, the other chick in this situation, she is perfectly content to be submissive to her masters at work. Whether it is her day job as a secretary or her night job as a waitress, she is obediently handling the requests of the men around her that are paying her for these things. That's just what the deal is. Let's continue.
Enables me to homeschool my children. My husband and I decide what they learn and who has access to them.
Today we're going to read about the Revolutionary War. Our textbooks weren't created by Ghislaine Maxwell's dad.
Really?
Okay, class. Today I'm going to teach other people's kids for the government because I refuse to have my own. Now get out your textbooks from the Epstein Associates' father.
Now who's ready for Drag Queen Story Hour? Please welcome our very special guest.
So for those of you that may have missed the reference, so Epstein, you guys are familiar with this guy, his second in command, that female, her father used to go ahead and run a textbook company. And so he had plenty of contacts for for a good amount of elementary, middle schools, and high schools in the United States. That's what the reference is, just in case you may have missed that.
Definitely not on a weird registry.
Up on the desk we go! Go, teacher! Awesome!
I do all the shopping and keep the house stocked. I'm buying healthy food to make a home-cooked meal.
After submitting to my boss all day, I'm fulfilling Instacart orders for wealthy housewives so I can earn extra money. I'm far more empowered than those women.
The patriarchal tyrant that enslaves me is giving me a break today and letting me buy what I want on his credit card. I'm definitely not going to enjoy modeling this dress for him in the bedroom later. Do you like it, honey?
Oh, yeah. I really like that.
I'm modeling this dress for creeps online. This helps me make an extra $200 a month. I need to pay off my student loans.
Why didn't any of you men help me? Help?
Why? Because they might get arrested for intervening. That's just what the deal is. There's this guy that recently got out, or he had an issue where there was this chick that got assaulted. He stepped in and then he got arrested. There's another issue where there was a guy that kept a woman from getting hit by a bus and then he got arrested. It's just insane, some of this stuff that happens. So guys are being trained systematically to not step up in domains where they normally would have been expected to step up in times past.
You're a strong, independent woman. You can take care of yourself. You're not my wife.
You cowards! Call the police! I need the government to send in strong men with guns to protect me
Because she doesn't have her own, so she goes ahead and calls the government. It's just what happens. A lot of times they'll go ahead and replace the forms and functions of what a husband used to provide on an average basis. You know, that's just how it used to be, and replacing it with daddy government. That's just how it is.
I don't need a man.
Are we going to have a problem? My mistake.
What happened?
Must be a wacko. Don't worry about it.
Honey, I want a sandwich.
Do you want a turkey sandwich with Swiss, or would you prefer a cheesesteak melt?
Hey, sweet cheeks, I'll take a turkey bacon club, extra mayo. Make it snappy.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, doll.
If my man ever talked to me like this, I would be irate. But this is all good because I get $14 an hour. I would rather serve men to profit a multinational corporation. I'm way too arrogant to ever be subordinate to a man who loves me and would die for me.
Melissa, get over here. This coffee is cold, and you were 2 minutes late this morning. What is wrong with you?
My boss is abusive, but I'm terrified to say anything to HR. They are only there to protect the company. I need this job to survive. I can't take the stress of this job. So I'm on a mood stabilizer.
Speaking of which, so HR, so there was a CEO recently that went ahead and laid off basically his entire HR staff. And he's like, turns out that most of the problems just go away. It's as if HR has a way of perpetuating problems and instigating problems in the first place. Kind of a weird deal.
An antidepressant and will pop a sedative at lunchtime to deal with his tirade. As long as I bring him a drink and a plate, he's content. He really doesn't give me a lot of crap. It's a pretty sweet deal. I'm in here creating all these amazing meals and watching my shows on my phone. As long as he gets what he needs in the bedroom, he's happy. He didn't care that I left a basket of laundry unfolded yesterday to watch my show.
Which is true. If she is taking care of business in the bedroom, most guys are going to go ahead and look the other way a little bit in terms of some of the household chores. But then when both are not done, that's when things are just crazy. It's just like, wait a minute, wait. I asked you to do the laundry and to handle this and this, and none of it got done, and no fun time in the bedroom. That's what goes ahead and drives guys nuts. So there you go. Let's go ahead and swap the size of the screen right quick.
I could never depend on a man. You've been brainwashed by right-wing white supremacy. That's fine. I'm happy over here. You are not. Happy people don't say they are happy. You just want to win the argument. You just don't want to believe me, because then you would have to admit you fell for feminist propaganda pushed by the bankers who get rich off the interest on all your debt. That's not true. I borrowed $100,000 to go to school for a useless degree. I have paid back $150,000 and somehow still owe $120,000. I am not an indentured servant and totally haven't lost all my dignity on Only Fools. Will the real slave please stand up? But you have to serve a man and sleep with him whenever he wants. I know, it's so hot. My man is so passionate and romantic. I can understand why you're jealous. He sounds like a creep. This is abuse. Right. And you fantasize about this kind of thing watching 50 Shades of Viking.
There's the reference to 50 Shades of Viking. So yeah, there you go. So that's the last one we're going to be reacting to from Seema today. So once again, if you haven't checked her out, she's amazing. She's a stay-at-home mom, Christian housewife, supporter of old Christian laws, former child victim of family court. All of her videos are under her highlights tab. So this is where she releases them first. Then she goes ahead and uploads them to YouTube afterwards. If you're on X, go ahead and follow her at Seema726. If you're on YouTube, which you are, because, hey, that's the YouTube live stream, she's at Seema726 videos. I see that she's got 3 other subscribers today as of this stream. Awesome. Thank you guys for helping her out. And I'm going to go ahead and link it in the chat just in case you've not seen it before. That way we can go ahead and help her out and see if we can't get her some more viewership, because she puts out good content. Even though she uses AI, I think it's going to be one of those things where she's going to get better and better at generating the content, especially as large language models and video creation models get better. She's got a good head on her shoulders for what makes for good content. So I look forward to seeing more of her content later on. So next up, you guys are familiar with Pearl, right? Pearl, Just Pearly Things, 2.6 million subscribers. We're going to take a look. That's going to be the last one we're going to look at. We're going to start with, what's the first one in this series that I want? Looks like I got them all queued up. All right. We're going to start with how female losers work and how society lies. The link to this video, if you want to go ahead and take a look at it later, is in the description below. Let's go ahead and react to Pearl. She's cooking on these whiteboard videos.
Guys, welcome to my whiteboard series. Today, we are going to talk about how the entire world is lying to women. So have you ever wondered why there are so many female losers? We do not call women losers enough. So many times we talk about.
Yeah, it's interesting because we go ahead and pathologize men in so many ways. We go ahead and call them losers. We call them fat. We call them dusty. All these kind of things that happen in society. But then we basically run cover for all the analogous circumstances for women. So let's continue.
About a male loser. And when we talk about male losers, I think we can all come to an agreement that, you know, it's a guy that doesn't want to work. He lives at home with his parents. He's fat, broke, no ambition. But we have far more female losers than we have male losers, but we never acknowledge that they're losers. Now, what is a female loser? A woman that's overweight, maybe really angry, ugly, bitter, in debt, a bunch of STDs, just mean for no reason. I mean, how many times has a Karen or a woman just made your life a living hell just because she felt like it? That's it.
How often do you see this to be the case? Old, ugly, bitter, debt, STDs, just generally mean. Pretty straightforward analysis so far on Pearl's part. Very spot on. Let's go ahead and continue.
Female loser. And we might look at this. There's actually an economist, Aaron Clary, who ran the numbers about what % of women are marriageable. That means women that are a baseline level of not fat, women without incurable STDs, without a ton of debt, not overly mean, not overly bitter, not ugly, not single mothers. And they found that it's a whopping less than 2% of women in 2026 are marriageable, meaning there's a lot of female losers. Now, anyway, how did we get here? How did we get here when in 1950 the women were young, fit, feminine, and friendly? Well, I'm here to tell you. So women in this society get money very easily, and there's ways that women get money. Now, women can get money through family money. This means a dad that's making a lot of money and funding his daughter's life decisions, whether good.
Fun fact, the vast majority of female billionaires got there either through inheritance or divorce. There you go. Think about that. Did she earn it herself? No. It just doesn't work like that. Let's continue.
Or bad. This can also be a rich husband. Some women marry a rich husband young, others marry a rich husband old. But regardless, he is paying for her life choices and for what she wants. Now, a number to keep in mind is women make 85% of consumer buying decisions. That means in society, when there's $10 spent, a woman chooses 8.5 of them, meaning if you're a business owner and you want to make money, it's much easier to make money off of women. So women can get this money from doing sex work. We've seen an explosion of OnlyFans, meaning there's a lot of money in sex work. This can also extend to sugar babies. Even just, you've kind of seen an increase in women even charging money for their presence to go on dates. And men are buying it, which is like actually incredible. I don't know.
All right. Guys, if a woman goes ahead and charges you a date deposit, turn the other way. She's not that interested. It isn't because she's just protecting herself. It isn't any of that. She doesn't find you to be that hot for her to give you her time. She's charging you for her time. Don't fall for that. That's just a setup for bad times.
Why you guys do that, but hey, okay. Sex work. A lot of times also women get easy money because rich women don't want to do their jobs. So a lot of men might have a rich wife, but she doesn't want to watch the kids. She doesn't want to cook for the family. She doesn't even want to dress herself. And there's a lot of easy jobs that are catering to rich women. So like personal, like private chefs, Amazon, Uber Eats. Not that those are easy, but it's not like high skill, I guess you could say. Easy jobs, teaching. And what I mean by easy jobs is it's just not the same as men doing physical manual labor jobs. For example.
So most of the jobs that women tend to do are in air conditioning. They're office jobs, they're administrative, they're clerical work. They're things that basically are the same kind of jobs that women were having 100 years ago, just in a modern context. Things really haven't changed much in terms of their preferences. They still want things that are comfortable, things that are relatively easy, things that involve people rather than things. So you see a completely different focus. And a lot of times the environment around those working systems will cater to that because that's what the women want and they want to be comfortable more than anything else. So they're willing to accept lower wages, generally speaking, in exchange for the comfort on a similar level of skill basis.
Working on an oil rig, fixing cars, plumbing, those are manual labor jobs. The death rate is higher. Usually I would say just a rule of thumb is if you have air conditioning, it's not that hard of a job. Okay. So here's the issue we get to. Women get money and women don't understand the value of money. So what happens is people want women to part with their money. They want to take the money from the women. And this can be done in an ethical way or an unethical way, right? So here's the issue you get. Women get money easily. Women don't understand the value of money because they either got it through an easy job, sex work, or a man giving it to them from their husband or family. The issue.
So they don't really value the labor that went into it, right? Their attachment to their money is tenuous because it didn't come with a great deal of effort. And so in the society, we end up lying to women and puffing up their ego and all of that in order to sell them stuff because they're more easily propagandized and they're more susceptible to emotional appeals, generally speaking.
What you get is that people want that money. Now, there's complete and entire industries built off of lying to women. So the body positivity, it's easier to tell women that they're hot, fat than telling them to lose weight.
That's changing now that Ozempic is getting to be a thing that's widely available. You see a lot of the people that were so prolific in terms of talking about the virtues of being plus size and all of that. They're changing their tunes now that they can go ahead and just go on Ozempic, lose the weight, and then get surgery after the fact to look hot. And so when they're taking the easy way out and doing these things, all of a sudden, now that you can go ahead and treasure them for their beauty again, they go ahead and play the beauty card because they recognize deep down inside that even though they're saying the words, they know that it's not true.
The college industry. It's easier to tell women to just study what you're passionate about instead of either going to engineering, accounting, or another industry that makes money. It's much easier to say to women that, just, follow your heart, do what you're passionate about. Industries keeping women young forever. So this can be Botox, getting your nails done, fake hair, plastic surgery, all of those industries. Again, they want women's money. And so the way that they get it is lying. Why tell the truth when you could just lie when there's no consequence for lying? Now, again, like in this example, if you have a plastic surgeon and he tells the women that they're going to look better after the plastic surgery, messes up her face, there's no consequence for this. Another one I see is...
Yeah, because usually when it comes to cosmetic surgery, there's a certain number of waivers that are in place where, hey, if you don't go ahead and like your results after a certain period of time, we can go ahead and try to revise them. But when something is botched, like really bad, there's forms of insurance to go ahead and cover that. And then there's limitations of liability in place. So it's a really tough set of circumstances for both sides of that equation.
Matchmakers, they tell old, ugly, fat women not to lose weight, but that, you just need to hire a matchmaker to find you love, It's never you. It's always where you are. Okay. So then what happens is all of these industries, they lie to women and they get women's money. And when they get women's money, a lot of poor choices are made. Sleeping around, sex work, divorce. There's a lot of industries that make money off of women divorcing. Women cheating, right? That's how the dating apps make money. There's actually a dating app that literally is for married women. You know what I mean? Amazon, plastic surgery, Uber Eats. You tell women to just Uber Eats all their food, then by 30, they don't know how to cook anything or do anything for themselves. Women are buying houses they don't know how to take care of. Most women cannot maintain a house, meaning they don't know how to do the plumbing, they don't know how to do the electric. And generally, men, so then what happens is all these industries are selling their services to women. So they get women's money. This leads women to go into a boatload of debt, and nobody's ever been honest with them in their life. So when women are young, they get the easy money. And then after they get into debt and they no longer can take out more credit cards, they become old, fat, ugly, broke. And now they're going to be in indentured servitude for their college debt the rest of their life. And now we have female losers.
And there you go. That's the life cycle of a female loser. They go ahead and squander their femininity and their fertility in their youth, and then bam, they end up with all the negative side effects of their decisions. Because honestly, People don't go ahead and tell women the truth in society, generally speaking. And when they do tell women the truth, they don't believe them. The women are like, no, you're just trying to manipulate me. You're just trying to have power over me. How dare you? And like oppression and all this other stuff that they just kind of throw out there. Well, we're just trying to go ahead and be like, look, hey, I don't know if you can see 5 years down the line, but here's this coming up. If you continue your behavior like this, but nobody's going to do that. And even if they do, they're not going to listen if they're hot enough and getting responses to their beauty in other aspects of their life. So once again, that was from Pearl. Link in the description below. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Let's see. We've got how mothers manipulate the family. Now we're going to go the doomed cycle of modern marriage. Let's go ahead and do this one. This one seems fun. We're going to continue full screen it. Boom.
What's up, guys? Welcome to my whiteboard video. I have been on the quest to figure out why there are so many female losers. Now, when I talk about a female loser, I'm talking about women that are old, ugly, bitter, in debt, a ton of STDs, mean, bitchy wives, Karen wives, no fun, always.
That's funny. Okay, so this is the same whiteboard. It's the same setup. She just added those different categories to it. So we can see that this one's like the next video in line. Let's continue.
Telling everyone what to do and just nags all together. There's so many women out there that just bring down my vibe, right? It's just the vibes here, the bitchy women come, and boom, it just tank in vibe, all right? So anyways, now a lot of these monsters are created in marriage. There's some idea from the conservatives that marriage is great for men and women and that it just brings out the best in each other. But in my experience, in a lot of cases, it actually brings out the worst in each other. So you start off with this happy family. So you got the mom, the dad, and the kids, and everything's going good. And what happens is men will tell the women to do something. Now, men really, especially fathers, they have the women's best interests at heart. Women do not have the men's best interest at heart. But when men tell women something, usually he is looking out for her.
Which is interesting because generally speaking, men love idealistically and women tend to love opportunistically. So she will go ahead and focus on her needs and her best interests, whereas he is usually a systems-based thinker and looks out for the entirety of the family as a whole. So you have two different ways of looking at similar issues, and they often come into conflict.
Women get angry. They don't, that's why they say, I don't need no man. You can't control me. So what happens is he'll say to stop spending so much money, for example. And the woman will say, no, you can't control me. And this is important, does what she wants anyways.
So he asks her to do something and she's like, nah, you ain't controlling me. And then she just does whatever is normally the cycle.
Because most men, when they say I do, they actually plan on staying for life. And there's no way to enforce this. So if he tells her something, she can still do what she wants without any consequence. So then usually what happens is there is a disaster. So for example, in this case, he says, stop spending so much money. Now the whole family's in debt. Little Jimmy doesn't have a college fund. She spent it on Amazon and Botox. It's gone. Meski, nada. So then he comes in, he works extra hours. Let me give her some blue hair because she's probably a feminist. He works, I put a little cape on him. He saves the day. So he says, do you know what, honey? I'm going to work some extra hours. I'm going to fix your problem. This makes him feel needed. Men love feeling needed. Now, the issue is...
Ain't that the truth, gentlemen? We love to be needed. We love to go ahead and have a purpose to devote our efforts to. And we also love being rewarded for doing the efforts and going and accomplishing the mission. We love having a purpose and being rewarded for accomplishing the missions associated with the purpose.
In exchange, this just happens over and over again. So there's no gratitude, and we go back to maybe the family's happy for a little bit, and then he gives her another order, like, Let's discipline the kids. And she says, no, I read this thing online that talks about gentle parenting. And he says, no, we really need to discipline the kids. They need structure. No, we need to gently parent. Well, then there's a disaster. The kid gets into disciplinary trouble at school. So he goes to school and the teacher says, your kid is just terrible. Now there's a disaster. She's frowning again. And the husband comes in and says, honey, we're going to parent this way. And then she says, okay, fine, we'll parent this way. And now the kids start acting better. And then it happens again. He says, honey, you're gaining a little bit of weight. Well, it's only because I had these kids. That's why I'm fat. Honey, why don't we just eat?
That's a lie. It's an excuse. It's calories in versus calories out. No matter how you dress it up, that's just what it is at the end of the day. It's a matter of putting less food in your body, generally speaking, and moving more. For over 90% of people, this is the case. And so we see all these people that are complaining, oh, I can't lose weight. And then they get on a Ozempic and they drop the weight like crazy. And then they end up with loose skin because they didn't put in the work and they didn't lose weight slowly so that their body can make adaptations over time. Like if you would just have a normal calorie deficit and do it the long way.
Steak. No, I want to try a new recipe every day. I want to try all these recipes. Honey, let's just have steak and chicken. No, but our neighbors, Stacy does this and she's really skinny. So she does what she wants everywhere. Now the kids are now torta kids, right? Because she's...
Yeah, so never mind what Stacy is doing behind closed doors. Never mind what the actual circumstances are. Stacy is telling the woman the story that she wants to have heard so that she looks good in that social circumstance. And so this woman goes in, buys it hook, line, and sinker, and then believes that this is exactly what happens. Never mind the fact that chances are if the husband is hot and if there's, if he's eligible, they might go ahead and put stumbling blocks in front of each other. This is something that women do to each other, generally speaking, when they are close, but honestly, they're just kind of like frenemies. They look out for themselves more than they look out for their sisters. Even though on the surface, if you go ahead and go after any individual sister, the whole sisterhood circles the wagons. Kind of funny to watch how that works. Let's continue.
Feeding the kids. So now the kids are fat, right? I'm going to make them little Oompa Loompas now. So now they're bigger. Now they're these fat children because she did what she wanted anyway. And a disaster hits. There's a disaster. Now the kid has like diabetes and he's 12, right? And now the mother is like, oh no, the kid has diabetes. And the husband said, all right, let's go on this diet plan. And then it starts working. And then there's little tortas, right? Now they're skinny again. Oh wait, maybe little Johnny, he's just going to be fat forever. But at least 2 for 3 are skinny, right? So now they're happy again, right? Okay, please forget my artwork could be better. But now everybody's happy again, right? Because she finally listened. What do you think happens next? Do you think she changes the behavior and listens in the future? No. Then, Diane goes to work and she makes some friends at work. And, the husband says, maybe don't hang out with them. They kind of seem like whores. Men are nice, so they say in a nice way. They say, are you sure you want to hang out with them? And she says, you can't control me.
Yeah, so this whole deadly cycle is a big thing of women believe women over men. Yeah, it's as if we don't lie to them to puff them up for the most part, unless we're trying to get their money, which, there's plenty of industries that go out and do just that for that purpose. Whereas women will go ahead and put stumbling blocks in front of each other on purpose. Wild.
You can't control me. I found these friends. You just don't want me to be happy. So she does what she wants anyway. Then a disaster hits. Her friend Stacy cheated, and now, I don't know, maybe she did some I'll say she approached clavicular in the streets. She was in the club with clavicular. Oh no. And so there was a disaster. Now she's blasted online, and the husband comes in and he says, look, we're going to put this behind us. But you got to drop these hoe friends. And she says, fine, I'll drop the hoe friends. And now they're back to a happy family. Until she says, I want to start a podcast. And the husband said, are you sure you want to start a podcast? What's it going to be about? You want to control me. You don't want me to be happy and successful. I gave up everything for you. Says, fine, start your podcast. So she starts the podcast, and it's a disaster. Now she's Akasha's wife, you know, talking about she doesn't cook, she doesn't clean, and he does that. Just embarrassing the entire family. Now she's roasted online. It's a disaster. And the husband comes in and said, let's just delete her phone and here's some good friends you can talk to. Now they're happy again. And basically what happens in marriage is it's just this cycle of the woman torturing the husband and the children, and the men trying to save the day, her not listening, a disaster that affects everybody in the family, and then the husband comes in again. And what happened is the men are addicted to feeling needed, and the woman is addicted to ruining everybody's life. And so that is marriage in 2026. It's just this.
Yeah, which is this entire degenerative cycle that just gets worse and worse and worse. Whereas if she would just listen to him in the first place and do the things that he asked of her, because he is looking out for everyone, not just himself, the family would be much better off. But no, she wants to do whatever she wants. She wants to be a strong, independent woman. You don't need no man. I'll do what I want. Don't you tell me how to live my life. And this is what happens. Disgusting.
Hamster wheel of the men not being able to do what they want to do and going off of their purpose to solve women's problems until she decides that the torturing of everyone, like torturing these three just wasn't enough. Now she's got to torture other people. So then, let's say, how does this end? She goes, I found this new group. I want to get a personal trainer. I don't know if you should get a personal trainer. He looks like me, but better looking. Does what she wants anyway. Cheats on him. Again, the husband finally says, that's enough. Or she says, I just want to be happy. You're holding me back in life. And then there's a divorce. And then we go back to the female losers, which are fat, old, ugly, bitter, in debt, STD ridden, mean, bitchy wives, Karens that are no fun. So now she's got a bunch of debt, and she's a female loser. So that's how female losers are made. And that's marriage in 2026. Thank you guys for watching. Like the video, put your comments below.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and hit the like button right quick. Boop. Hit the like button. All right. So it is linked down in the description below. Go ahead and take a look if you want to go ahead and review it. If you would, go ahead and subscribe to Pearl if you haven't already, and hit the like button on the video. We got one more, and then we got a really spicy one that she came up with last week. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at how mothers manipulate the family. Now, if you guys remember the first video that we saw today, you're going to see a lot of similarities. You're going to see that things are kind of in the same vein in a lot of ways. Let's take a look.
What's up, guys? Welcome to my whiteboard series. Today, I'm on a quest to figure out why there are so many female losers. Now, these are women that are old, ugly, bitter, in debt, lots of STDs, mean, bitchy wives, Karens, and no fun. And these are some examples that I've drawn of them that are obviously awesome. So anyways, I was wondering, why are so many mothers naggy, bitchy Karens? And today I want to talk about how mothers emotionally destroy, manipulate, and terrorize the family.
Oh, this should be golden. Let's go ahead and see what she has to say.
So we start here with a nice, intact family. And the mother starts off happy. The 3 kids, you got Bob and Diane, and they're having a good time. Now, what happens is Diane gets mad at nothing. So Diane is easily offended, and most mothers in America are easily offended. This is getting overly annoyed at the littlest things. This can be there's one dish in the kitchen. She's going to overreact. And the thing is, when women overreact, they take it out on the kid. So fathers, when they're mad at a child or a child's misbehaving, they'll say to the kid, "You're a good kid. They'll say to the kid, "I know you're a good kid. I know you're a neat kid. Why don't you put the dishes away?" And they don't overreact. They just tell the kid to do the chores. The mother will say, "I gave birth to you. I sacrificed everything for you. Why are you such a bad kid?" And this is emotionally terrorizing to the kid.
Yeah, definitely not all women, but I've seen enough women that go ahead and act this way that it's enough to be a general trend in the society. And this is how women that are unfulfilled are often picking their somebody that's not their first choice to get married to because the Chad that they got with in their 20s didn't want to commit to them. That's usually what causes this whole cycle to start in the first place.
Because kids never want to be rejected by a primary caretaker. So kids know a lot of times with their fathers, as long as they do good behavior in the future, they know that the dad's not going to bring it up again, and there's redemption. But the mother lives in the past and overreacts. She's easily offended. I'm using the dish as an example, but this applies to pretty much everything. If she gets offended because the kid is honest with her, right? The silent treatment, she plays the victim, creating a problem when it's really not a big deal. An example is if a mother plans an event and people don't show up at the exact time she wants, it's a very big it's the biggest deal, right? Where the father just calls and says, "When are you getting here?" It's just a difference. Gossiping. And usually there's one kid in the family that has to listen, that becomes the emotional tampon for the child.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, this happens all the time where one kid goes ahead and gets attached to mom and will just absorb all the things, and the mom will talk to that kid the most and then basically leverage that relationship against the other children and against the husband in the relationship. Disgusting stuff that happens, but it's a lot of this is right on the mark for a certain subset of families where the husband generally is going to go ahead and discipline the children with an even hand. And if they go ahead and act right, everything's fine because there's redemption in that. And he just wants there to be peace in the home. And when they act in accordance with the overall objective of the family, then they are doing their part for the family to be in harmony. Whereas the mother, a lot of times, will go ahead and dig into the stuff of the past to guilt people in the present. Let's continue.
And that's not good for the kid. This kid is often turned against the father, and it's oftentimes a woman. And then on top of that, the mother gossips to everybody in the town, so there's no sense of privacy for the children. It's gotten worse in recent years with the invention of Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I'm seeing mothers post their kids' private personal moments on TikTok and Twitter and using their kids to build their brand. There's bitchiness, nagging, seeking validation, overreacting. So anyways, the cycle is they're a happy family. The mother gets mad at nothing. This is important. It's never something, it's always nothing. Makes life hell on earth for the family. Here is the most important step. She must blame the dad. So she feels
because it's his fault. She's upset at whatever, and then she makes a big deal of it, makes a mountain out of a molehill, and then all of a sudden it's the dad's fault. Yeah, just like clockwork.
A certain way, and it's got to be the father's fault. Never her fault, always the father's fault. Sometimes the kid's fault, but mostly the father's fault. Then she's going to nag at everyone. Common complaints, and if you guys have some ones that your mother commonly said to you, "I gave birth to you." Women want credit for everything, and that's something that dogs can literally do. And so the kids didn't ask to be here. They didn't ask to be born. And the mother uses something the kids didn't ask for against the kids. They can't help who their mother is. Number two, I'm going to die someday. Everybody dies. We don't even know who's going to die first. But mothers, again, they want to take credit for everything and say, well, you're going to miss me when I'm dead. It's like, well, I could die first. You know? How do you know who's going to?
So a lot of times it's emotional manipulation. Is they'll go ahead and come up with all these things for shame and guilt and insulting the kids, or trying to get them to get into an emotional state rather than talking about, hey, like, we as a family want to do certain things, because they're not, a lot of times the women in this dynamic are not family minded. They are really self-minded. And then the children are a projection of instruments of her own needs. Let's continue.
Okay. You're ungrateful. All I do for you. When fathers do nice things, fathers get joy from their children. So they enjoy spending time with their kids, and they don't view time with their kid as taking away from their life. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, women just don't like their kids that much. So women view time they spend with their kids as them doing something for them. And the mothers will hold this over the children's head for the rest of their life, that she gave up so much for you. She did so much for you. She sacrificed everything. So anyways, then we got step 1, get mad at nothing. 2, make life hell on earth. 3, blame dad. 4, nag everybody. And 5, say I love you and make the kids say it back, and tell the kids not to embarrass her, even if they're verbally and emotionally abusive. That's where you get, I love my mother, but they always have to preface it. There's always got to be, I love my mother, but.
Because they're brainwashed into saying it. They don't actually mean it a lot of times, because they've been so processed into that pattern that that's what comes up. And normally when there's a but in the sentence, everything in front of the but is not the important part. It's everything after the but that's the important part in conversation.
That's how I know a mother is a terrorist, as if the kids say, I love my mother, but anyways, this is the circle of life. Part of this is the father's fault, because the father does not tell the mother to shut up, right? At some point he's got to do that, but at the same time, she won't listen anyway. So if you saw my last video, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Am I missing a step? If I am, put it in the comment section, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and
Yeah, that's pretty spot on for some of the more like dangerous things that happen within a marriage and within a family structure. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the comments on this one and see if there's anything hot nonsense. Let's see, sort by top comment. Okay, you forgot about that when they don't get their way, and they weaponize law enforcement to get their way. Okay, so we saw that in one of the divorce videos, where basically she didn't get her way, and then she basically started a fight and got him arrested and claimed that he was the one that assaulted her. Let's see. Pearl, obviously you've met my mother. Perfect assessment. Yeah, sounds about right. It blows my mind how many women, my ex-wife included, when asked what they want for Mother's Day, and they say they want to be left alone. Then you ask a father what he wants for Father's Day, and it's almost always includes doing something with the kids around. You know, that's pretty accurate. It's interesting because a lot of times for Father's Day, depending on what's been going on throughout the week, it may just be a regular day. But a lot of times I want to go ahead and play cards with my kids or do something like that. Speaking of which, recently my youngest son, he started reading, and he's 5 years old, but he's really, really good at reading. And so we got him some Magic the Gathering cards to read, and he read his whole thing. So I'm like, you know what? This kid is really doing stuff. So maybe we should go ahead and like get him dialed in, because at 5, the kid is reading at like a 6th grade reading level already. And so I figure we got to go ahead and give him some context so that we can have him bloom where he's planted, because clearly, you know, reading, analytical things are very much within his strengths. So even though he's 5, he's got like a lot of the backbone to really like push him forward. And I think that would be really good for him. So that's probably what we're going to be doing tonight, is playing cards with him. You know, my 2 older kids and him getting together and just playing a game of Commander or something like that. But yeah, let's go ahead and continue on with these comments. Mothers cannot hold their tongues even on trivial things. And then let's see. My mom divorced my doctor father when I was 4 years old. He worked in another state while my mom spent my entire childhood turning me against my father. But my father was always nice to me, so I never fully shut him out. She doubled down when I was a teenager, telling me that my father didn't love me, telling me my father was emotionally abusive. It really messed me up, and I didn't know how to cope with it. So I internalized everything, and I got addicted to drugs and alcohol, and essentially it ruined my life. I'm sober now, but the damage is done. She ruined my life by turning me against my father. My father eventually cut us all off and went no communication after a lifetime of agony and blame for every problem, despite being the one who supported all of us. My life will never be what it could have been, all because she couldn't bear to hear her kids say, there's more. Of course I love you, Mom, but I love Dad too. I at least feel guilty about it. She turned my sister into a man-hating psychopath. The worst part is I still love her because she's all I have in terms of family now. Yeah, that's about it. Like, it's wild what's going on in the society. Now we're just a little over 2 hours of stream. So I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. And I'm going to go ahead and save this next video. I hate to admit it, but I think polygamy logically makes sense. That may be on the deal for next week. So thank you so much for taking the time to view. If you haven't, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe for more. I look forward to doing more commentary. Tomorrow, I'm going to be doing Base Church. We're going to be going through Mark chapter 1 at least. So if you don't have a faith family and you're looking for somebody from a more red pill perspective to kind of go through the scriptures, by all means, go ahead and tune in. It's going to be at 2 p.m. Central. That's what we're going to do. And basically, we're going to do an opening prayer. I'm going to go ahead and read the Apostles' Creed. And then we're going to read through Mark chapter 1. And then based on what comes up, we'll ask for prayer requests and things of that nature. And if anything comes up, we'll handle that. And then we'll try to wrap it up in about an hour so that you guys have your time to dig into the Word of God and learn more about that and then go about your business. Because I know a lot of people do not have a faith family that they can be a part of right now, unfortunately. And I figure I can go ahead and actively work to supplement that so that the Word of God can still be preached and you guys don't have to worry about like crazy leftist pastors that are going to try to set you up for failure. Plan to just read pretty much straight from the Word, and then I'll have it on the screen and you guys can go ahead and see what it is and what there is about. So I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then we're going to go through some of my upcoming videos. So I'll go ahead and take a look and we'll go through my YouTube studio right quick. That way you guys have a general idea of what's coming up. So this week I had put out a couple of videos. One of them was the real reason men are leaving dating. So that's just kind of like a basic example of why some guys are not even bothering with dating. And then I have another one that released on Thursday that's been getting a lot of traction on Twitter. So I'll go ahead and send that out in messages. You guys can go ahead and take a look at that if you haven't already. This shows why a lot of guys are walking away from marriage. I am married. I've been married for 22 years as of the 20th. So earlier this week, I had celebrated my 22nd wedding anniversary. So I'm in a happy marriage. My wife is on my program and she goes ahead and knows what she needs to be doing and handles business when I ask her to and all of this kind of stuff. So I see marriage as a fundamental good, but I see where guys can go ahead and be very frustrated with the divorce ringer and all of that. And then next week on Tuesday, I've got the real reason women can't respect modern men, which is kind of looking at kind of like the modern female perspective of things and making some adjustments. And then next Thursday is basically a video on how to close the gap between men and women and just really going through that and really analyzing, hey, what are the things that men are looking for and what are the things that women are looking for and how can they get on the same sheet of music so that we can have strong families and strong society? Because if you don't have a strong set of families, society crumbles under the weight of all the pressure that's being put under it. And if you've been looking around the society here, you've noticed that trend is exactly what is going on. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch with me. I appreciate your viewership, and I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day.